in a crude laboratory in the basement of his home.
Today, we're going to talk a bit about leg exercises. You have never heard of a sports person complaining about having legs that are too strong. You know, at the end of the day, my mobility was too good. I had too much strength in my legs, and that's probably the reason why I just didn't make it. Even if you aren't into exercise, your legs literally form the base, the foundation of everything you do. You're going to need them for your whole life. They need to carry you. Yes, leg exercises hurt. It's unpleasant. They take long. Just going to have to make peace with it. And once you do, the results are guaranteed. So I'm going to go through probably the number one leg exercise everybody knows, the humble squat. I'm not going to add on to the pile of technique and form and what have you. And I'm just going to go through the stumbling blocks I had, and maybe that'll help resolve some that you might have. So let's go have a look. So before I get into the squats, maybe just going to talk a bit about barbells versus kettlebells. I didn't really care. Use either one. As long as you're exercising your legs, that's good. Obviously, do it safely. Doesn't matter which one you use. I have seen quite a lot of guys going maybe a bit heavy with a barbell and ending up with lower back injuries. If you've got a lower back injury, you're not doing any training for a long time, and you're going to be very frustrated and very pissed off. So please be careful. Kettlebells, obviously, you're limited to the weight by how much you can pick up. Is this a bad thing? Don't really think so. It feels like a built-in safety mechanism until you've built up the strength to go up to heavier weights, maybe with a barbell. But play around with it. See how it goes. So for me, the biggest niggling point, or the issue I was always never quite 100% confident about, was how wide to place my feet. I was constantly adjusting and playing around with it, with the toes a little bit out more and then trying to keep them completely straight. I just thought of a mental cue, and it was only recently that I discovered this, is before I pick it up, I would go as if I'd place my feet as if I wanted to do a massive jump forward or up. So I would just play around with it. Obviously, I'm not going to jump now, but I would load up and feel, is that the best position to get the furthest distance or as high as I possibly can? And that just happens to be, for me, the perfect width to do my squat. Naturally, instinctively, place your feet in the right position when you run that mental cue. Another bit that I was never quite 100% sure about was, what's the ideal distance to go down? How far down should you go? Once again, I think this is something you should play around with. If you're already doing lots of supplementary leg exercises, where you're doing strength through range of motion, whether that's split squats or you're doing the Cossack squats, pistol squats, I wouldn't worry about going all the way down to the bottom. But if you're not doing those supplementary leg exercises, I would suggest going all the way down to the bottom just to work on that mobility in the legs. Other than that, play around with it and you see how that feels. So when you end up going down to there, about 90, a little bit below, you're going to feel the muscles stay contracted. When you're right at the bottom over here, they actually seem to relax and it feels like a bit of a cheat. Let's have a look and see what that is like. So, going to get your width, feeling strong there. Hike it back. I'm going to lean back on my heels just a little bit with this one initially. There, bring the kettlebells together. Now, when you're going down, whether you're going all the way or just down to 90, go straight down. And I find it helps if I look up. Just go straight down. So as you can see, right at the bottom, you can sit here for quite a bit. And up, snap the hips forward. Or if you go down to here, and then fire up. So let's take a look and see what that will look like from the side. Get your width, sit down, back on the heels a little bit, hike, bring them together, go straight down. It helps if I look up, and there we go. Fire up there, or there, and up. All the way at the bottom, and then up. And then remember to put them down safely. And that is the humble squat. So, if you wanted to work on your mobility, and this is where the kettlebells come in handy, if you're struggling with that bottom position, a good exercise to do is get the width, again, running through that mental cue I described earlier, going down, and just sitting with a kettlebell in the hand, and just feel that weight. Because normally I used to fall backwards, but I've improved the mobility just by being in that position. That's what the kettlebells are great for. And you can do it with just one kettlebell. You don't have to use both. So let's see what that looks like. And you can use this as a warm-up before you even do heavy squats. With one hand, down, facing back. There. And you will feel an improvement in the mobility for the squat. That's all I've got. If you enjoyed that, press all the buttons. And I'll catch you later.